we're not going to talk about it a lot because y'all know what we're trying to do again.
The Philadelphia Eagles are officially Zach Ertz days away from football taking place. Let's go! But in the meantime, we have some news. So Terrell Edmonds, new safety for the Philadelphia Eagles, went on a podcast the other day and basically spoke about a couple things. His expectations of himself with the Eagles, his mindset going into the Eagles, and just how he feels Jalen Hurts compares to Big Ben. So I want to break down everything he said, so let's talk about it.
You want Philly?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is Philly the podcast. So today I want to talk about everything Terrell Edmonds said, from him comparing Jalen Hurts to Big Ben, to him talking about the vibe in the Eagles locker room. Now, before we hop into all that, be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join the family. We are on the road to 10K. We would love for you guys to join that ride. So let's hop right into it. I want to start with how he spoke about what his mentality was coming into the Philadelphia Eagles. We will play clips as well. If you haven't seen it, I will leave the full link to the interview down below in the description if you want to watch that as well. I definitely think you should. It was a great interview, but I want to start with his expectations. So he basically obviously wants to come out here and prove himself, and I think that that's something a lot of people kind of understood with him coming here, obviously not getting his 5th year picked up with the Steelers and kind of crossing over the towns, right? It's not too far. I mean, it's kind of far, but either way, you know, he's coming basically to a team that has everything in place, and he knows that he has a very good opportunity to go out there and basically remake his career, reshape his career. And you know, the podcast was called Second Win, and it was perfect for them to talk to him about that, because this is a very good opportunity. He brings up James Bradbury, he brings up Darius Slay, he brings up that defensive line, and he even brought up the offense, that he just has to kind of play his role. He has to fit in where he fits in, and he has to do what he has to do in order for this team to get where they need to go. It was very interesting hearing him talk about the mindset of the Eagles as well, right? They talked about basically him walking through the locker room, how everybody felt, what they were talking about, and we were a couple plays away from being Super Bowl champions, and he talks about how they are only worried about that. The feel in the locker room and the feel in that organization, from him at least, is saying that they only talk about championships. It's about getting that ring. It's about going out there and winning another Super Bowl. It's not about making the playoffs. It's not about winning the division. The main focus this year is winning that ring. So it's amazing to hear as an Eagles fan. That's what you want them to be talking about, right? That's exactly what you should be talking about. This is the time for the Philadelphia Eagles to go crazy. So mindset check. I love everything I heard.
They don't show a lot of clips from last year's game, like Super Bowl game, but it's like they bring it up in like small spurts.
Yeah.
And they like, we're not going to talk about it a lot because y'all know what we're trying to do again.
Right.
But at the same time, the way that their offense is set up with Jalen, and you got D. Smith, you got AJ, you got we just now got Swift in too.
God
we got
damn.
a bunch of, and we already got some heads that's been there.
He Eagles fan.
We got a whole lot of people that already been there. And then it's like, you got their old line, you got Kelsey, all them boys.
Man.
Come on now. It's like they already got a solidified offense and a solidified defense. And then just coming apart. For me, when I'm coming apart, I'm like, boom, I gotta hold my weight.
Yeah.
Like, they already got everything set in. They already got their routines. They already know each other. I just gotta come in, hold my weight, and go out there and give them everything they need.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, I'm excited because every day in the locker room, people only talk about going to win that trophy for this year.
Yeah.
Like, there's no talking about we just need a winning season. There's no talking about we got to win the division. The main goal is let's win that championship, and everything that we do from this day to camp to the season is going to help us win.
Terrell was also asked about his time in Pittsburgh and how it compared to Philadelphia. He went on to say that he does feel like the similarities are that both cities love their sports, right? Brought up the Phillies, brought up the Flyers, brought up obviously the Eagles, and how they are so embedded in those sports. And the cities are, I mean, that's no surprise to anybody, right? Pittsburgh loves their cities. We love Pennsylvania is like that. So, but he did also say that Philly's just bigger. He said it's just a huger city, way more things to do, way more, ways to get out there and kind of explore. So it seems like he's really fitting in perfectly, and I'll play the clip of what he said because I did find it pretty interesting.
Similarities, I would say that both cities love their sports teams. Yeah. So everybody in Pittsburgh, you either a Pirates fan, you love the Penguins, or you love the Steelers. And Philly is the same thing. You love the Phillies. I haven't been to a hockey game. What's their hockey team called? But everybody always talk about it. I haven't been to the hockey game.
What, for what, Philly?
Oh, they love the Eagles.
Who? Flyers? The Flyers?
They love the Flyers. They love the Phillies, and they love the Eagles. Yeah. So it's like, both cities, but at the same time, we in Philly. I mean, we in Pennsylvania, so it's like, I guess that's just how Pennsylvania roll. Yeah. But I think that's the similarities. The difference, I don't know. Philly just way more bigger than Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh was small.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's small. Philly huge, and it's like, I don't know. They both tough.
Now, lastly, and honestly most importantly, is he did compare Big Ben and Jalen Hurts. Now, obviously, when he played with Big Ben, it was when he was younger, and Big Ben was on the end of his career, right? Towards the end of his career. Big Ben was still a great player. Ben Roethlisberger is one of the most fun players that I've gotten to watch throughout his career. It was a lot of fun to see him just make plays. He talked about how Big Ben trusted his wide receivers and trusted his players to make plays, and maybe sometimes made throws that he didn't. I think the perfect way to say it is what he said, and he wasn't afraid to fail. And I think that that's something that you see in Jalen Hurts, and he brought that up as well, that even in practice, you could tell that Jalen Hurts just trusts his guys. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and all the rest of the guys in that group. He trusts them. He's going to make the throw. And he also brought up how Jalen Hurts is already utilizing his eyes, already, doing what veteran quarterbacks do, trying to move the safety, keeping his eyes to the middle when he already knows where he's going to throw it to, trying to move players off of their block. And they talked about it. A foot, 1 inch, one step could mean a huge gain. So it's really, really impressive to hear Jalen Hurts having such a comparison to a quarterback that, let's be 100% honest, probably will be in the Hall of Fame when all is said and done. And it's very interesting to hear it from the safety perspective, because obviously Terrell Edmunds had to deal with Ben Roethlisberger in practice, and he has to deal with Jalen Hurts in practice. And he talked about the game that we went out there and whooped their tails, and he's excited to now play with Jalen Hurts. He was very, very animated when asked about Jalen Hurts. It seems like he really likes the guy. Seems like he's really orchestrating this team, and not just the offense, has the respect of both sides. So I loved everything I heard. Like I said, I am going to play a clip again from what he said about Jalen Hurts, because I think it was really important. But if you guys enjoy this kind of content, definitely leave a like, leave a subscribe if you want to. But other than that, y'all know what it is, man. It is Fly Eagles Fly, and we are out here. Peace.
I think the biggest thing is that they're both competitors, and he trusts AB like that. And then Jalen the same way up in practice. Like, he trusts AJ, he trusts Devontae, he trusts all them boys in the receiving corps. Like, and he not scared to go ahead, tuck it in, get you a nice 30-yard or 20-yard run. And it's like that competitive aspect from your quarterback, and you can see that he's going to put it all out there and not scared to get hit from a safety or a linebacker to get that extra yard or two. I think that's the biggest thing. Every day he tries to work on something new. And it's like he talks about it sometimes when he's breaking down the huddle. And like sometimes he like really tries to eye control with the safeties. You know what I mean? He growing. Big Ben, he had plenty more years on him. But at the same time, Jalen, like, he's smart as I don't know what. And he like a competitor. He a dog. And I'm excited, man, because we played against them last year. They beat us. They whooped us last year. But I'm excited this year to be on the team and, like, you know what I mean, actually play some games with them outside of practice.
That's fine.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
Fly Eagles flying on the team. Touchdown, time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird game nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man soft. Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randall. Season head, early time to do him in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.